sounds like a good thing. Okay.
Do you think Chris can help on this?
I think he can very much help on this. The other thing though that the other question is something that we have to do, and nothing to do with Chris, and that's the doing business question from Hong Kong. And what I don't understand is why, after we showed them very clearly,
including all the contract, the rendering.
Everything. I've never seen such a complete description of doing business. And yet they say, the documentation does not show what, if any, services and or goods are provided by the foreign entity. The documentation submitted is not sufficient to establish that the foreign entity is doing business as defined by USCIS. So this is what they say. And I don't know, I mean, I've never been to the Hong Kong office, I've never seen it with my own two eyes, but I have a feeling, as I told you, that Miles is not paying 11 people to sit around and twiddle their thumbs, okay?
It's ridiculous.
So it's just insane. But, as I said, okay, here it is.
So back to Mr. Kwok, right?
Yeah, we're back to Mr. Kwok. The second question for Miles, Mr. Kwok, was the one I discussed with Jerry, but this is the first question, which was,
what should we do?
all right, let's see. I'm going to read it again because, all right, foreign entity doing business. In response to USCIS's request for documentary evidence to establish that the foreign entity is doing business, you submitted, among other things, utility bills, receipts, and other invoices issued to the foreign entity by various service providers. USCIS defines doing business as, and here's where they say we didn't show it, the regular, I'll give you a copy of this too. Did I give you this before? Or no, I didn't. The new denial that we got last
No, denial
I'll
I
give
didn't
it to you.
receive.
All right. As the regular, systematic, and continuous provision of goods and or services, the regulatory definition of doing business does not include the mere presence of an agent or office. The record must demonstrate that the foreign entity is actively engaged in the provision of goods and or services. The documentation submitted establishes that the foreign entity has and maintains a presence in Hong Kong, China. The documentation does not show what, if any, services and or goods are provided by the foreign entity. Now, they don't discuss what we sent, other than saying, oh, thank you for the invoices. The documentation submitted is not sufficient to establish that the foreign entity is doing business as defined by USCIS. Now, all right, we gave them that enormous thing, stack upon stack. But if they're going to just hone in on regular, systematic, and continuous provision of goods and or services, as I said, in other cases, a letter has been sufficient. We provide goods and services. Thank you very much. Here, 362 pages is not sufficient. So if I may ask you, what if and this is the real question, and if you want me to go to look Calvin Ho in the eye myself, I'll do it. All right. What does he do when he wakes up in the morning? What does Natasha do? What do the other people do when they come into that office at 9 o'clock in the morning every single day?
They are doing their own job every day.
I would think so. Yeah.
And they travel as well.
So.
They travel as requested. You know, just like Han, just like Yong and myself, we travel a lot.
Yes, yes. So,
so should we give
No, that's fine. Okay, now look, this is what we gave them before, and this was the 362 pages. The Hong Kong company is engaged in real estate investing. And do they also engage in real estate management? After they develop a property, do they also manage it? Do they provide all the services to the building? Do they negotiate prices from the electric company? Do they get a cleaning service? Do they then sell the units? What do they do after the like that hotel? Do they still have anything to do with the management of the hotel?
No, I don't believe so.
No.
No,
Okay.
because Hong Kong company, they as you know, just founded in last year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's not, if you want to develop a project, you need time.
That's what they
especially for
don't
luxury villa.
understand here.
We
Okay,
can't
yeah.
say that we will. Oh, okay. We just to develop that project with all of this interior decoration, design, everything, and get it ready. And after that, it depends on whether the owner will need us to manage or not. And for this moment, as you know, Hong Kong office, we only have 20 persons.
That's right.
We need to hire a third party to like the Pacific, the management company, real estate management company.
That makes perfect
ourselves.
sense. Okay, that's what my notes say too.
Yeah.
Because I said
It's not reasonable. If I say yes, I'm like,
no,
I can't do that.
They're
I can't
not,
do
they
that.
can't. But that means that they don't. That means they're doing something else. Okay.
Yes.
So what else can I say? They don't manage the company. They're not in the business. They hire a third party to manage the company, to manage the real estate. Do we have, and I think we already gave them this, a contract with that third party provider, did we not?
Third party, I mean, what kind of third?
The
Management?
management, yeah. Didn't we give them that for the luxury units?
No.
Or not yet?
No, not yet. Not
Okay.
yet. We
Do
don't
we
have
have
that.
one, or there is none?
I need to check.
That would
because
be a good
everything
thing.
happened every day, but I'm not sure whether we have that or not for the moment.
Okay.
Let me tell you for the Hong Kong company, besides that project, luxury real estate project.
I'm just gonna write this down because, as I said to you, I understand now. I understand what the U.S. company does because I was able to talk to you enough to figure out what you're doing here, all right? However, the Hong Kong company is another matter. So, one, possible contract with third-party management company. You're going to find out. Okay. But you also said that they do a lot, they, like you, do a lot of traveling. Where do they go?
You mean the staff?
Yeah.
New York, London, and back to Beijing, and as requested, Europe. Yeah, Europe. Most of the time like this.
Okay, and what are they doing for Hong Kong Golden Spring when they do all this traveling?
For this traveling, most of them, they are investigating the projects.
Possible investments.
projects. Yes, correct. Just like it's a team. Sometimes they were led by one of the team members, team leaders to travel and to do the investigation or do something by themselves. Sometimes they travel together with Mr. Kwok.
Which is normal. Okay, and they report back to him.
Correct.
On here's what you should invest in, here's what you should not invest in.
Correct.
That's what I thought. Okay, so how do we? That's a full-time job.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No question about it when we're talking about this much money.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we prove that? How do we prove that? I would say, one, we show the actual travel. Okay, so I would want copies of the tickets. Copies of the tickets for everybody who works in the Hong Kong company.
Oh my God!
Absolutely. And I know that's a lot of traveling, but that would be, what did I just say? Regular, systematic, and continuous provision of goods and services. That's regular, that's systematic, and that's continuous. Because we get in one day and we get on the plane the next day and we go with or without Mr. Kwok. We go to Europe, we go to New York, we go to London, and we find out what he should buy and what he should not buy.
How long time do you need the air tickets?
Since the company began.
Okay, 1 year.
Yeah, so 1 year. Because that's okay. Then that explains what they're doing with their day. Okay, now if there's somebody who doesn't travel, if there's somebody who just stays in the Hong Kong office, that's a different kind of job. But they also have a function. So what do they do when the other guys are traveling?
They are.
Because we had the chart. We showed them the whole chart of all the people working there. All right.
So you can find something like sailor or captain in that chart.
Okay.
Because for Hong Kong company, and one of the Hong Kong company's role is to treat clients or treat the potential partners. So we have a boat, we have a boat, yeah, we have a yacht, things like that.
It's called advertising. Right. Okay, good.
And we especially hire the captain and sailor to treat all of these guys.
Okay.
Yeah, that's for social, or you can call social, or the public relationship thing
It's
like
PR
that.
development, sure.
Yes, I think I can describe things like that. And some of them, they are just, day to day running in the office to take a phone call and organize the conference call, or organize the documents, or do some like feasibility investigation, thing like that.
Okay. Okay.
Very basic. For the middle level and the high level, they travel a lot. They travel a lot.
Then I can show that too. So I can show the high-level people traveling. I can show the captain and the sailor on the books for PR development to take the clients around, potential clients around, and they show them a good time, and they say, don't you want to invest in our investments? Yes, we do. I hope at the end of the ride. Okay.
So how to show the
okay, I would show the pay stubs for the captain and sailor. I thought we already showed that. But specifically, if you can show me how they're paid, they live in Hong Kong?
They live in Hong Kong.
Okay, then you should be able to show them a payroll that goes right to their Hong Kong bank account from Hong Kong Golden Spring. All right.
Okay, yeah.
So that's good. And also, the boat is owned by a Hong Kong company.
Owned by one of the Hong Kong company, not Golden Spring Hong Kong.
Well, then
Another one.
I'm not going to show that. That's fine.
Another one.
Because we're not getting into that. That's where we
You
started.
know how many companies we have?
I do, and that's where we started. So we're not going back there. We're sticking with Hong Kong Golden Spring. All right. So I'm not going to show who owns the boat, but the boat, I can get statements from them, and I am the captain. I take around. In fact, I can write the statements for them. If you give me their schedule, if you give me I'm in port, I'm out of port, I'm in port, I'm out of port, and give me the names of some people, and I would want. I mean, they've been doing this for a while. I don't know that they take people out every day, but if they take people out once a week, then I will ask them to sign statements. Both of them. Our service, continuous service, systematic service to Hong Kong Golden Spring is we take potential clients out on the boat and we wine and dine them, and we say, don't you want to invest in our companies?
Simply speaking, that what you need is that the staff in Hong Kong company, what they are doing every day.
That's right.
Then you can write a statement and ask them to sign a statement.
That would be very useful.
That's the thing.
That would be extremely useful. All right.